good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody?
What's going on, football fans? Football fans, welcome into the Truth League Report. We're going to be reviewing Week 4. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. And I'm glad y'all are here for this show. Definitely make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. If you haven't already, definitely subscribe to the channel Titans and Truth. And definitely subscribe and hit that bell and hit all so you can get all the notifications of all the shows that do be coming out. And also definitely give this show a like. If you definitely like this show, it definitely helps support the show. I'm nearly 1,200 subscribers. So definitely help me out with that. And we're definitely trying to continue to help this show grow and definitely try to get out as much to the rest of the league and to everybody as possible. So definitely trying to get this out to different fan bases and things like that. So definitely help me out with that as well. But welcome into the Truth League Report. We're going to be reviewing Week 4 of the NFL season. Of course, you're going to be seeing. Make sure you also follow the pages on the clicker. Titans and Truth, the main page, and the TNT Enforcers fan page, as well as on Instagram at Titans_in_ at Titans_in_ Truth on Instagram, and at TNT Blue Enforcer on Twitter. And then also super chats and donations are appreciated as well. And also just making sure we're going to be showing we're going to definitely be showing the scoring underneath for all the games that happened this past week. So definitely take a look at that. And let's go ahead and get right into it. I'm going to give you my top 5 games from this week that I thought were the best games that I enjoyed. These are just based on my opinions. These are my thoughts. If you think that there was a game that I missed that should have been on the list, let me know in the comments section. So let's go first with number 5, and that is, let me see. I feel like I'm missing one, but definitely number 5, the New England Patriots and the Green Bay Packers. The Packers getting a big win, 27-24 in overtime. And that game was actually really, really cool to witness. It was a back and forth dog fight. And the Patriots played a lot better than I anticipated. They definitely did some things that I was not expecting in that game. And Bailey Zappi came in, played well, and really, gave the Patriots a chance to win. They were right there. So it's not like they didn't have opportunities to win the game. So they definitely had the chance to win. But at the end of the day, they just couldn't get the job done at the end. The Packers were able to do so. And the Packers were able to get that last field goal and get the victory 27-24 in overtime. So I was actually very impressed with how the Packers played in this game. So, again, Bailey Zappi was definitely impressive. I will not take anything away from him on that. He, definitely put up a very good game for his first career start. And I think the future is definitely bright for him. And, you just got to see what's going to happen, because it looks like he's going to be the starting quarterback for the foreseeable future with Mac Jones being out for a little bit of time. So definitely shout out there. But, Aaron Rodgers does what Aaron Rodgers does, and then they got that field goal at the end. So shout out to the Packers for getting that win, and the Patriots fall to 1-3 on the year. Game number 4. It will be the Minnesota Vikings and the New Orleans Saints in London, which I thought, again, was another fun game where, Justin Jefferson continues to impress. Kirk Cousins seemed like early in the morning, he does pretty good early in the morning on Sundays, especially in London. He definitely tore it up and did some things good in this game. And I like, Chris Olave. I think Chris Olave is starting to carve out a nice future for himself in New Orleans. And Andy Dalton, of course, having to step in for Jameis Winston as he was injured, but definitely was very impressed by what Kirk Cousins was able to do, because I have been out on Kirk Cousins for quite some time, but he kept in there and definitely led his team to victory. Adam Thielen got involved a little bit as well, but it came down to field goal kicking, and Greg Joseph did some good with his field goal kicking. And then on the other side for the New Orleans Saints, they had a chance to tie the game on a 61-yarder, but it banked off of the goal post and off of the upright, and it did not go through. So, definitely a shameful way to lose for the Saints, but definitely shout out to Minnesota for taking care of business there. At number 3, you got the Kansas City Chiefs, who went on the road to Tampa Bay and beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 41-31. And Patrick Mahomes did Patrick Mahomes things. And, he definitely got, everybody involved. He had that nice, he had to run a little bit and then get that touchdown to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And he made some tough conversions. Also got to Juju Smith-Schuster. He had a big play. Of course, to Travis Kelce, who had 9 catches for 92 yards in that game and a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 249 yards, maybe not his best game, but he had 3 touchdowns in that game and 1 interception in there as well. And then on the other side, one thing I was impressed with, even though Brady threw for 385 and 3 scores, definitely liked Mike Evans. Mike Evans is one of the better receivers in the league, had 8 catches, 103 yards, 2 TDs. As he is definitely taking the reins as the number 1 wide receiver of this team, which we always knew that. But this is a very entertaining game. It looked like it was all but over at one point, up 31-17, I believe. And then here comes here comes Tampa Bay, and they tried to get it, within reach, but then Kansas City was able to finish it off, got one last score, and was able to put this game away. So definitely, Kansas City at 3-1, Tampa Bay now at 2-2 on the year. At number 2, you have the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. Again, another close game that came down to the wire, that came down to the end, and came down to a Tyler Bass field goal that won the game for the Buffalo Bills. And I actually won a little bit of money off of this game because I picked the Ravens plus 3.5, and they did cover the spread. This was probably not the Bills' best game offensively, but, when you're playing against the Bills that are one of the better defenses in the league, you better try to get some things done and take advantage of any mistake they might make. But Lamar Jackson did not do that, even though He had 11 carries, 73 yards. He on the ground, he only threw for 144 yards through 2 critical interceptions that ended up salting the game away, and the Buffalo Bills escape with a 23-20 win as they improve to 3-1 on the year. But my number one game of the day is easily the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions. 48-45. This game was a legit shootout. It was a shootout. It was fun. It was entertaining. It went back and forth. Just when you thought one team was going to put it away, the other team kind of comes back, makes it a bit close. Both Jared Goff and Geno Smith both threw for 300 yards. Threw for 300 yards. You had a couple of 100-yard receivers. You also had a couple of 100-yard backs in this game. There was a lot of scoring in this game. Not really a lot of defense that was played in this game as well. But the Seahawks were the ones that walk out with the 3-point win. They improved to 2-2. Lions fall to 1-3 on the year. And so this game was loads of fun. It was back and forth. I mean, I couldn't stop watching it. So I was definitely impressed with that game. Also, to go back on Minnesota, New Orleans, Minnesota improves to 3-1. New Orleans down to 1-3. Kirk Cousins threw for 273 and a touchdown. Justin Jefferson had 10 catches for 147. And like I said, I like the improvement of Chris Olave, although he only had 4 catches, 67 yards in the game, but definitely is stepping up and improving, as time goes on. And this is why I do the Truth League Report, because it makes me, of course, as a lot of you know, I am a Titans fan, but, with me doing this, I love football in general. So it just makes me watch more football. And so that's why I enjoy doing this. I enjoy putting this all together and everything for all of you so that we can have a good time together and everything on this particular show. So shout out to all the teams that won. Of course, there are other scores underneath that maybe I didn't get to. Another game that might have been an honorable mention, Jacksonville and Philly, I thought was a pretty good game as well. So definitely that was a good one. And then definitely watched a little bit of the Jets and the Steelers. Of course, we saw a quarterback change there with that. So we'll definitely talk about that in just a bit. But again, make sure you smash that like button if you haven't already. And also hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel under Titans and Truth. Go ahead and do that and hit the bell so that way you know when new stuff is coming. And also, this show will be out on all of the podcast channels. So if you can't catch it here on YouTube, you can always download it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, and Apple Podcasts as well. So definitely check those out if you can't watch it on YouTube or on Facebook in its entirety. But this is the Truth League Report. Of course, I'm going to put up my team that won as well, 24-17. The Tennessee Titans beat the Indianapolis Colts. But now it's time to introduce my top ballers of the week. And, these are people that I just thought, stepped up and balled out and had good games. And so that's what we're talking about here. But we're going to go at number 5. I put 2 ballers on here. Raiders, Josh Jacobs, 28 carries, 144 yards, 2 TDs. And then, of course, as always, I am a fan of Mad Max Crosby. Mad Max from Beyond the Thunderdome had 2 sacks in their 32-23 victory over the Denver Broncos. So the Vegas Raiders got off the Schneid and got a victory out of the deal, so they get their first win of the year. At number 4, I'm gonna go with the Eagles defense. They caused yet another game where they caused multiple turnovers. They caused 5 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which helped lead them to their 29-21 victory. And they just harassed Trevor Lawrence all game long. Even though the Jags got up early, 14-0, Trevor Lawrence had some fumbleitis issues, even though the conditions were not great and it was raining. You got to hold on to the football, and Trevor Lawrence definitely had some trouble doing that. At number 3 is Mike Evans from the Bucs. Even though this was in a losing effort, had 8 catches, 103 yards, 2 TDs, and the kid out of Texas A&M, he's just grinding out. And, you talk about some of the best wide receivers in the league, and sometimes he doesn't get mentioned as much as with the Tyreek Hills, the Stephon Diggs, and, everybody up front, but he continues to churn out big games. So definitely got to give some respect to Mike Evans for his great game against the Kansas City Chiefs, even though it wasn't a losing effort. At number 2, Deebo Samuel from the 49ers. Happy he got a new deal. 6 catches, 155 yards, a touchdown. I believe he had a long, I want to say a 50-yard touchdown catch in the game, catch and run in the game, as the 49ers beat the LA Rams 24-9 on Monday Night Football. So, Deebo got his money, and he is showing why, San Francisco was right to hold on to him and not trade him. And so that definitely did some good. But my number 1 is it's really both teams on this one. And I said anybody from the Seahawks-Lions shootout. And I start on the Seahawks side because they were the winners. Geno Smith, of course, was 23 of 30, 320 yards, 2 touchdowns. Rashard Penny had 17 carries, 151 yards, 2 scores. DK Metcalf had 7 catches for $149 in the victory. And again, this was back and forth. This was a shootout. A shootout that had nearly 100 points scored in this game. They combined for 93 points to be exact. So if you pick the over in this game, you did well. You did very well. But on the other side was the Lions too. Goff, 26 of 39, 378. He had 4 touchdowns and an interception. But Jamal Williams had 19 carries, 108 yards, 2 TDs. And TJ Hawkinson had a breakout game with 8 catches, 179 yards, and 2 scores. That was a fun game to watch between those two teams. I definitely enjoyed watching all of that. So those are my top ballers from this week's games. And so, again, in the comments section, did I miss a game that should have been in the top 5? Did I miss a baller that should have been in my top 5 ballers? Let me know in the comments section below. Some news that came out, of course, is that Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa will miss the next game, I believe, against the Jets because of the injury he sustained Thursday night against the Bengals. And so that is a pretty big blow to him. And that's a pretty big blow, but you're hoping that Tua is going to be okay health-wise, because I know he took a beating, especially from the Sunday prior, and they had this whole thing with the concussions and everything, and then he gets hurt again on Thursday. So I believe the doctor for Miami was terminated because of all of this going on and everything. So they had to really do a lot of changes with the concussion protocol because of this, because he played on Sunday, dealt with the concussion, They said he passed the protocol to go back in the game and then deals with a second concussion and dealing with neck injuries and stuff as well. Had to be carted off on Thursday night. So he is going to be out definitely against, I believe it's the Jets they will play. Also, Colts running back Jonathan Taylor this Thursday night will be out against the Denver Broncos. He's dealing with, I believe, a foot injury that he sustained in the game against the Titans, where he only rushed for 42 yards on 20 carries. So that's going to be a big blow to the Colts offense without Jonathan Taylor, even though they do have Naeem Hines, who is a very fast back. But Jonathan Taylor definitely is the engine that makes the Colts go. And also in news, is that the Steelers have, they benched Mitch Trubisky after the first half of their loss to the New York Jets for Kenny Pickett. And now Kenny Pickett has been named their starting quarterback for their next game coming up. So when I saw that happen at halftime, that they changed up to Kenny Pickett, is basically, and now they've named him the starter, there's no turning back. Basically, the Steelers are going with Kenny Pickett going forward. And, the Steelers have always been a team that during Mike Tomlin's tenure, they have never had a losing record. They've never lost. They've never had a losing record under Mike Tomlin's tenure, although this year is definitely that streak is definitely at risk. They're 1-3 right now, and they need something to kind of give them a spark. So that's why they've decided that's why they're going with Kenny Pickett now to try to see if they can turn this season around for themselves. So Kenny Pickett now the new starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that is some of the news that has come out of the NFL this past week. Definitely more news will definitely be coming. And of course, as we get more news, I will definitely bring that to you right here on the Truth League Report as I get it. And we're definitely going to see things that do happen going forward. So this is a very good year. This is definitely a very good year. Good week so far of football that we've seen, and we're definitely going to see what week 5 brings, definitely coming forward. So hopefully I will be able to do my picks and get them out in time before the weekend's game. So I apologize I didn't get that before. I got to be much more consistent, so I hold myself accountable. But everybody, I want to definitely thank y'all for tuning in to the Truth League Report Week 4 review. Definitely make sure y'all again subscribe to the show, comment, let me know what you think of the show. Do you like the show? Does it suck? Let me know what you think in the comments section. And definitely, again, give a like and a subscribe to the channel. And definitely make sure y'all stay tuned also for Titans and Truth TNT tonight, every Wednesday. Going to be previewing the Week 5 matchup against the Washington Commanders at 6 p.m. On Wednesday. So definitely stay tuned for that as well. But thank y'all for tuning in to the Truth League Report. And y'all have yourselves a good rest of your evening. And I'll holler at you.